Why haven't you ever asked us?
I don't have an answer for that, but I'm asking now.
Yeah. The next one is North Miami Foundation for Senior Citizen Services. Come on, Mike. Mike the knife.
We didn't call Pal,
Hmm?
No, he's with the other
the
organization.
foundation also, her too. Mariana.
She's with the senior too. This is Pal. Which
I'm Mike McDermott.
Mary Estime Irvin.
This is not
And-
PAL.
Pardon?
This is not PAL.
Well, I'm Pal too.
No,
Yeah.
this is not
No.
PAL. We're calling
No, this is
North
not
Miami
PAL.
Foundation for Seniors.
Yeah, well, yes,
The
correct. I'm
board.
president of
Hmm?
the,
Oh, you in there too?
yes, sir.
Oh.
Okay, Mayor and Council. Back in 1974, a group of activists got together in this city to try to find ways to help the elderly in our community and established the North Miami Foundation for Senior Citizen Services as needs were recognized and expanded. Our mission continues to focus on maximizing the opportunities for the elderly of Northeast Miami-Dade County to maintain their personal independence, which is very important, and to enhance their quality of life by providing a broad array of social services. Just to show you what we did last year, we had 31,618 home-delivered meals, 8,698 shopping trips where we took the elderly shopping, 591 hours of homemaker service, 1,100 hours of gerontological counseling, 5,769 hours of friendly visits by volunteers from throughout North Miami, 9,657 telephone reassurance calls by volunteers who call on a daily, sometimes 2 or 3, depending upon the condition of the elderly person, to provide them reinsurance and also if they check on how they are and if they need any help. 362 instances of shopping assistance. We have 54 clients in health wellness programs, and we have provided $10,000 in consumable medical supplies to the elderly here in North Miami. We are an agency that's available to anybody in the city of North Miami over 60, and the service is without any cost to these many people and many seniors that we serve in North Miami. Funding from the City of North Miami began over 35 years ago and continues to be integral to this program. In our proposal, I'll let Mary take over from there.
So in our proposal, we are requesting funding to provide 2 meals per day, both breakfast and lunch, 7 days per week, which would be about 4,932 meals in total to 9 of our frailest clients. 10% of the social worker time was also included in the program. We are requesting 19,655 in CDBG funding, and we're going to get the 1,135 from in an unrestricted matching fund. We are recommended by staff and Planning Commission to receive 8,250 funding. With this funding, we can
Okay.
serve about 1,250
Marie.
meals to about five
you.
clients.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So in essence, we're just asking you to please, if, you know, we understand your recommendation,
Thank you.
but we'd love it if you can give us more. Thank you so much.
Thank you. PAL. Police Athletic League.
ones, one time. Lady.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Karen Varela. I'm the grant writer and board member with the Police Athletic League. As many of you know, the Police Athletic League has been providing diversion programs within the city of North Miami since 1996. And our mission is to cultivate the relationship between the police, youth, parents, the schools, and community. Our success from 1996 to date has been that we have been able to provide over 7,000 students with these services. And within the last year, thanks to the gracious CDBG funding, we were able to have 90% of our students maintain a 2.0 GPA, and 100% of our youth participants that were in our program did not or were diverted from being arrested. And since our inception in 1996, over 200,000 hours of volunteer time has been provided throughout Miami-Dade County, in addition to, of course, several city events. We're seeking funding for, of course, our newest program, which is the Brains and Beauty program. It's a cohort of 50 or more female youth students who will receive biweekly mentorship from not only police officers, but also from community members. And this young women will receive encouragement for students to prepare themselves to become female leaders, not only within this community, but hopefully beyond. We also have our youth sports programs. These programs encourage the students to engage in seasonal sports. They fosters positive competitiveness and, of course, a sense of achievement within all of the students. The final program, and one that I believe everyone is extremely familiar with, is our Junior Police Cadets program, which we have one of our students here with us today. And this helps our students learn about the criminology field. It also has students are very much so engaged within community activities and provide service learning hours for each of our students. Again, we're making a request for $10,000 this year that was recommended by staff, and we're seeking to serve over 250 North Miami residents. All of these goals we've been able to exceed over the past 3 years of receiving this funding, and we thank you again for the recommendation.
You say you're requesting 10?
Yes.
Here it says 15.
Yes, but we were recommended for 10.
No, but you're requesting 15.
Yes.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
We will later.
Thank you.
Prosperity Social and Community Development Group.
Good evening. My name is Nadaj Vilsaint, and I am the Executive Director for Prosperity Social Community Development Group. I would like to start by saying thank you to the City of North Miami for providing services to us and funding us for the last 2 years with our program, Connecting the Bridge Through Literacy. Connecting the Bridge Through Literacy launched out in the year of 2014, assisting parents that has never had the opportunity to attend school, read, write. In our program at the City of North Miami Library, we allow parents to become actively involved in their children's education by attending schoolwork, school activities, and also assisting the social workers, assisting the parents, and to go into the home, into the school, and helping the parents to become productively active in their children's schools and teachers. Also helps the participants to obtain library card for the very first time and engage in family reading time at the library, and also to establish the same custom in their own home by reading to their children at night and establishing self-esteem and self-confidence, and also become productive citizens in their own community. This literacy program is not only just a literacy program, but it's a program that also helps the parents to also build a relationship with their own schools, with their children, where they're able to also acknowledge parent-teacher meetings, and our social workers accompany them there and to make sure that they're being serviced the right way. Over the past 2 years, we have tremendously increased with the family reading over to about 120 participants in the library, and they have obtained library cards and also reading. Over the last 2 years, we had 2 adults from the age of 62 to 65 that has actually passed the GED program by attending our program over the past 2 years. We would like to continue servicing the City of North Miami and providing services to our residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, Life Skills and Reading Foundation.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pauline Doyley, Director of Programs at the Russell Life Skills and Reading Foundation. Our mission, opening books to open doors. The foundation was established in 1998 and incorporated in 1999 as a 501c corporation by then Miami Dolphins linebacker Twan Russell and his mom. Their objective to raise awareness about the challenges that illiteracy causes in the inner city, as well as the lack of resources to address it. The Russell Reading Program are after-school programs that meet 2 hours per day, 4 days per week, Monday through Thursday, from 4 to 6 p.m. on school days. We match certified teachers with small groups of children to assist and instruct in the areas of phonics, reading, language arts, math, science, and teaching children to use reading as an essential tool for lifelong learning. That was 17 years ago, and we have been in partnership with the City of North Miami since 2004 at Sunkist Grove Park. We also set aside time to help with homework. The program is free, and we provide all supplies. A part of our program is Life Skills, where we at least try once per month to invite various professionals and people from the community to come in and speak to the children on various topics that are positive. Thirdly, we offer family assistance and empowerment. Our auxiliary group, the Dragonfly Darlings, work with the mothers so that they will understand the importance of reading to and with their children at least 15 minutes per day. And also letting them know that they're not alone. Each year we have a women's convention where we invite the mothers from the reading program to come out and listen to various speakers speaking on topics such as education, finance. This year and going forward, we want to continue to work with the City of North Miami to build upon this success by continuing to utilize the same teaching approaches, testing strategies, and method of engagement that have yielded consistent and positive results. Russell Life would like to thank the City of North Miami for your continued support and partnership, because we can accomplish more together than we can alone. Thank you.
Thank you. Santla, Ms. Gypsy Metellus, welcome among us.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Gypsy Metellus, Executive Director of Santla Haitian Neighborhood Center, and with me is my Director of Youth and Family Advocacy. So I think we've got two proposals before you. There's the Youth Enrichment Program, and there is the Workforce Development Program. So let me address first the Workforce Development, and I'll ask Shirley to address the Youth Program. And so with the Workforce Program, a program you've supported for the past 3 years, we have traditionally received understanding and recognizing what CDBG provides for. So around $6,000 or $7,000 for the past 3 years. Because in particular, you know, we serve more than 69%, well, let me reverse that. More than 69% of our clients are North Miami residents. And so 3 years ago, it dawned on us that we should work with you to provide support for this. And what this employment service is comprehensive. It is assessment of skills and talents. It is counseling around career opportunities. It is orientation as to the world of work in the United States, in particular because most of our clients are first-time workers in this country because they happen to be heavily Haitian immigrants. Beyond that, there is an orientation that truly places them in the world of work so that they understand the culture of work in this country. And finally, well, not finally, there is resume building, and finally the job placement. Our placement rate is phenomenal, I would say, because what we've done is develop a niche that serves, in particular, people who are low-skilled, people who've got challenges with English as a second language, and people who are truly willing to work, willing to sacrifice in order to succeed. And so that is the employment program. And I'll stop here and ask Shirley to address the youth program.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Shirley Plantin, and I am, as Ms. Gypsy said, the Director of Youth and Family Advocacy Services at Santla, probably one of our newer services in the organization. We are located within the City of North Miami, and the proposal before you for the youth program is for our Youth Enrichment Program. It is based on an innovative program a full-service school model. One of the things that's different in what we do with our after-school and providing services for our youth, Sutla's main mission has been to stabilize and strengthen the community and empower them. So we've realized in all of the other services that we've been providing, there's been an increase of need for our parents to navigate, should I say, through many of the systems that exist in the community, whether it be educational, whether it be the JAG, DJJ, police departments, what have you. So that's the advocacy part, where we're in the community advocating for the parents and their youth. But what is before you is a service model that would allow us to serve 30 North Miami youth residents, ages 12 to 18, through educational, cultural, and service learning activities. To sum it up, it's basically we provide academic enrichment every day from 3 to 7 p.m. at Oak Grove Elementary through a partnership with Miami-Dade County Public Schools. We also mandate service learning activities, not because they needed to graduate, but because we want them to understand life is about giving and taking and the value of giving back. So our youth will do 12 community service activities, 12 educational activities, and the educational explorations, my time's running out, is really about opening their eyes to the real world. And then lastly, a lot of cultural enrichment, which will surround a lot of the activities that happen in the city of North Miami. Thank you.
Thank you. Last is the Irving Thomas Elite Basketball Academy.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor Joseph, and the council members. My name is Natasha Thomas, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Irving Thomas Elite Basketball Academy. Our organization was established in 2010, and the mission of our organization is to help kids understand the realities of sports and to give them the information that is needed to secure academic and athletic scholarships. We have a 6-core component that we run during our camp sessions, and the first component is of course, teaching the fundamentals of basketball, where our coaching staff teaches campers how to improve on ball handling, dribbling, passing, and shooting, and all the components that help them be better basketball players. Our second component is the NBA health, fitness, and sports nutrition component, where we provide information on how to cross-train and to eat to maximize the performance of strength training and quickness while playing sports. Third component is the life skills education component, where we teach the role of an athlete, how to be a team player, and the importance of good character skills, being committed and to understand their individual potential in order for them to be successful in life. Our fourth component is the reading level and assessment and athletic evaluation component, where we would like to assess reading levels and evaluate athletic potentials with the intent of providing a list of literacy programs and personal trainers for parents to use to help their children improve on reading levels, test scores, and their athletic performances as they continue their education and their participation in sports. We have a fifth component, which is the college prep component, where we provide children with key information about college applications when they're transitioning from high school into college. And of course, particularly for our athletes, by giving them the information on registering for the NCAA Eligibility Center, which is required in order for athletes to receive a scholarship from the NCAA. And also we give information on researching schools and coaches, or we provide information to students to help them, I'm lost here, researching schools and coaches before committing to an athletic scholarship program. Our sixth component is the professional development skills, information and careers in sports, and franchising, where we teach kids the importance of having more skills outside of your college degree, career choices in sports, and of course business information on how to purchase. That's it? Oh my gosh, I didn't get to my accomplishments.
Mayor, That was the last one. If you should so choose, the individuals from Expert Resource and Community Center have arrived. If this body would like to hear them at this time.
Yeah, we'll listen to it.
Yes. There. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First of all, I want to apologize for my tardiness. My name is Danny Felton, Executive Director for Experts Resource Community Center. We are a 501c nonprofit HUD-approved organization. We are a branch affiliate of the NID Housing Counseling Agency, which is the largest minority HUD intermediary in the nation. What we provide is we provide homebuyer education, we provide foreclosure assistance, and down payment assistance education for home buyers. We address the needs in terms of individuals that are facing foreclosure, and all of our services that we provide are free of charge. We work with we've been funded through the National Foreclosure Mitigation Counseling Fund, which is the U.S. Treasury, to provide those services, and we work with the Hope Now Alliance to go around and assist individuals that are delinquent on their mortgages, that have had some sort of loss mitigation issues, or are potentially affecting or being affected by the housing crisis. We also do financial literacy for adults and youth. We work with the youth here in North Miami, as well as we educate them on the importance on banking and understanding the banking system. We use a Credit Smart system, a Freddie Mac system, to educate them on the importance of financing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
The police is us now.
Yes, sir.
Upon reviewing the different CBOs and listening to what
Point of order, public hearing.
we have public hearing in there, we do?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't think I needed a mic. Okay, we'll take a few minutes for public hearing. I see no one coming. Public hearing is closed. Yes, there are certain CBOs in the community. They've been there for quite a while, and I've had a lot of experience with some of them, especially Santla. As a matter of fact, I have referred a lot of patients of mine to Santla, and they always come back and they pretty much edified with the kind of care and the resources that are available to them. And to see that they asked for $10,000 for the youth program, but only rewarded $6,000, and they also requested $7,500 for the financial stability through employment. They're only being awarded $2,000. So I'm making a recommendation to increase the portions that will be allocated to Santla, and that's only my recommendation. The reason why I do is because, like I said, I know it's an organization that has been very important, that has been very productive to our community, and the second one that I
Mr.
see
Mayor,
here.
I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. Increasing any of the
I'm
CBOs?
only making. We're having this discussions.
Okay.
They can be refuted or they can be accepted, just like everybody else will have their turn of recommendation.
Okay.
And that's exactly why I stated in the last meeting that the council members should have a say before the allocation of this money, because we in the council, we are aware of some of the CBOs that are here and the services that they've been rendering to our residents.
I
So-
understand, sir.
so
Any
we-
adjustments, just,
So
we're gonna have to make sure you make
at this point, I'm making
reductions
some
also.
recommendations, if you allow me.
Yes, sir.
I'm making some recommendations, and after that, the floor will be open to all the members, and they can make their own recommendations as well. And the other ones that I'm recommending for increase is Holy Cross Lutheran School. This is a school that is right here in North Miami, They're requesting $7,500 for our little kids, you know, to really be well engaged in our community. So whatever it is that we can do to keep this program going, when it comes to kids, I mean, that's you got me there. And the ladies of valor, I mean, you saw the young ladies here. They're coming up. They are the future of our community. We should really try to be there for them. North Miami Foundation for Senior Citizens. They're requesting 19,000, and we only awarding them 8,250. So these figures have to be looked at, and to see where we can actually properly allocate the money where it really should be allocated, which is for the citizens of that Miami.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not for or against any changes, but I think we need to make it clear that raising any one group means lowering another group.
That's
So we
what-
need to specifically say who's losing money for these other groups to gain money, because we have a very finite amount of money that the feds gave us.
I think the ones that have a clear record of serving this community should get a little bit more, and the ones that are not really, that cannot show proper documentation that they render services to us should get a little bit less. I mean, it's only fair.
Can I say something, Mr. Mayor? And we have about 88,000 allocated from the federal government. And are we gonna get the money from the general fund, or how we gonna do it? And you said something, Mr. Mayor, and about the North Miami Senior Foundation. Remember, in the budget, they already have $115,000 in the general fund. That's an additional money on top of the 115,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor? Oh, well, here's my little take on this. All of these organizations have done tremendously great work. Is there someone on staff is double checking that they actually will be serving residents of North Miami? One thing I do understand, and in the presentation, I know Santla mentioned that they'll be housed at Oak Grove, but let me assure you, I've known that I know some of the kids are from North Miami Middle and Senior, you know, but I've seen some organizations who are not here within the city. So is someone gonna make sure these are residents? And what Councilman Galvin said, which make a lot of sense, any increasing has to decrease somewhere. And I don't think the senior citizens are getting much, Councilman Bien-Aimé. However, I do think, and I'm glad the chief is here, PAL has gotten a lot from us, and I didn't know if they could even request more through this process. I know we're giving them, you know, tremendously, so perhaps moving forward, we could address PAL in the general fund, where this would be opened up to these other organizations who does not have that opportunity to because PAL is like a city program. So, you know, this would kind of help us out a little bit, because them getting from here, you know, and I understand there was a question, and I did ask the chief if within the police budget, if they could help them out a little bit, you know, because this is one of our programs. But with all of these wonderful organizations who are outside organization, not really city related in a way, especially the North Miami Senior Foundation, you got the HIV group, you got the Russell, and the Russell group, which house at Sunkist. So all of them do something well for the community. So I don't know how we're gonna cut from any of them, Mr. Mayor. It's kinda
Mr.
hard.
Mayor, let me say something. Just because the organization doesn't have a residency in North Miami, that doesn't mean they don't serve the city of North Miami. I'm going to give you an example. If you take an organization all the way from Coral Spring, if we're talking about
That's the
Russell?
That's the
Russell,
yeah.
Russell, the Irvin Thomas Basketball Academy, they're from Coral Spring, but they have a week camp basketball at Joe Celestine Center. It's about
that's
150 kids from the city of North Miami. And for those type of camps, and people have to pay at least $250 for the week. to get professional skills in basketball. That's mean just because they don't live in the city, that doesn't mean they don't serve the residents and of the city. Like you're talking about FLIC, Florida Immigrants Coalition, and they serve the resident of the city. And with our clinic, citizenship clinics, we have 4 every year, and they're all doing Biscayne, but they do serve the resident of North Miami. That's mean those of the organization that I know that they work in the city before, and I think they're doing a good job. And we have to be careful taking the money from them and give it to someone else just because their address are not in the city of North Miami.
Now let me ask this. You mentioned the Florida, is it Florida Immigrant?
You have
Florida
you have Florida Immigrants Coalition. It's for they spend more than what they receive to the resident of the city.
Now my question to staff and Mr. Attorney, if a CBO, are they allowed, like the CBO like Florida Immigrant Coalition, if they receive funding from us, are they allowed to either endorse or support the candidate in North Miami elections?
I don't think any nonprofit can.
They don't do politics. You can,
These
that's a
are-
non-profit.
Yeah, these are nonprofit organizations.
Support or work with?
They cannot support a candidate.
These are not-for-profit, yeah, I don't think they're political organizations. no.
That's Florida Immigrants Coalition. That's different from Florida New Majorities. It's 2 different entities.
2 different ones.
You have 501c2 and a 501c6. That's different. I don't think.
To answer
C4.
Mm-hmm.
That's
to
2
answer
different
Councilman
organizations.
DeSomme's question, the program's each grant is monitored by staff on a continuous basis, on a monthly basis. Reports are due, and at the end of the fiscal year, we do audit each program to make sure they do spend the money.
Yes, sir. No, I do agree, and I think these organizations should even get more. But the
I
bottom
think what
line
we
is,
should do, we should do something called matching fund. Let's see the federal government gonna give us 88,000. We find 88,000 in the general fund in order for those organizations to get more money. Because when you looking at the work they're doing, it's like they're doing more than what they receive.
Mr. Mayor? Yeah, well, my only concern with that, Mr. Mayor, what he was saying, it would be, we have our own issues here within our own city. We can't even get some homes fixed. I do want to give these organizations more. My recommendation, and I can make it through a motion, is can we deal with PAL in-house? That will free up $10,000, and we could divide that with whatever that needs to be done. Because they asking for 15, we're giving them 10. Can we give them that 10 in-house?
I don't think it would it be legal to do that, Mr. Attorney? Because
yeah,
they are.
yeah.
If it's coming
was
from
open.
general funds,
Yeah,
yes, and then you can reallocate what would have been going
yeah,
under
to
this
the others.
program to the others.
So we will do that with the understanding that they would get this money from somewhere else.
From
That's
the
what we're
general
saying.
fund.
If there is general
Fund
funds
somewhere.
available.
No, not if. We have to make sure it's there.
Well, then, let me,
No, I
Through
don't have
the
any
mayor.
problem with- I think it's- I think it's a good idea.
Through the
but-
mayor, if the council, if the council so chooses to move forward with removing the funding from PAL, the $10,000, it's January, we still have about, I guess, 9.
let
well,
me
it's
help you out,
February.
Mr. Manager.
We'll do it.
No, better yet, just so we don't be clear. I know we have some money, so let's take them off the table because they are ours. And we deal with them and we take that because we have some money somewhere. Now, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yep, no, answer me, yes or no. We do.
Okay, so
We'll do
Yes.
what we need to do to
So-
fund the $10,000.
Okay,
to
perfect.
PAL.
Thank you.
So
Now
we'll
Mr.
take PAL
Mayor.
out and we'll get them the money from
Yes,
somewhere
we'll
else.
From
do
the
that.
general fund.
Okay, PAL.
So
Now-
now you're free to allocate what
The
would have,
10,000.
the allocation that was going
Yeah.
this evening
Now
to
I want to
PAL.
get from that PAL allocation. I would like to add 5,000 from it to Santla Youth the employment program. Because giving him just $2,000 that can't even serve two people. That's, I'm only getting 5. And then the other 5, we can allocate it to other groups.
Oh, I thought somebody was gonna say something.
It's a
You wanna
motion.
No,
take 3 or
is it a I don't have I don't have a problem with giving, or I was just helping y'all out. Just to
Okay.
find 10,000.
Okay.
But we need to decide.
So,
you make
f-
a okay.
so
Yeah.
it's,
Gonna-
Out of the 10 that we're taking from the PAL, I would like to make the motion to get 5 of it to add to the employment program from Santla.
Councilman
Can I get a
Galvin,
second?
I
We have
know
a
you,
motion on the floor.
Miss,
Can I have a second?
Madam Clerk,
No, we're
Councilman
gonna do
Galvin.
it at once.
Yeah,
The
Councilman Galvin,
amendment. We're gonna
just to
vote
bring
on-
you
on
up
the
to
package.
date, I know you wasn't here. To help out the process, I just, recommend that we deal with PAL in-house since they are getting stuff from us, and that 10,000, and then that could, however,
Split up elsewhere.
yeah, however we wanna do it, I'm okay with. So you have a motion, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
Okay, you second it, or?
No, we're gonna do it together.
How-
We
how
have
you do it?
5,000 left. Let's
Okay,
allocate it all the
5,000
fund, and
left,
then
okay.
after that, we're gonna do that once, right?
Roland,
Or we gotta
Mr.
do it
Attorney.
one by one.
Yeah.
For clarity, I would vote on it, if you vote on it, you've now done
Done
two things. You've reallocated PAL's allocation from these funds to general funds, and now you've reallocated $5,000 extra to the organization you just mentioned. Let's dispose of that item. Now you've got $5,000 more to reallocate elsewhere.
Okay. You wanna make the motion, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion on, we have a motion on the floor by Mayor Joseph to allocate $10,000 from the,
5.
5,000.
oh, I was
I
going
think
to
they're looking
PAL.
first for a motion to take away
To
PAL's
take away,
10,000.
okay.
I agreed. I think that yes,
Okay, that
you're gonna,
was-
you're gonna
that
take
was Ali's.
PAL out of this program
Yeah.
and put it into the general fund.
That was my motion.
That was Desulme's motion.
Let's
Okay, so
dis-
that's Desomay's motion, and, I'm sorry, who seconded?
I seconded that.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Vice Mayor Desomay to allocate $10,000 from the general fund for the PAL program, and seconded by Mayor Joseph.
No,
No,
and,
no,
and
no,
we
no, no,
moved
no.
them from this.
And remove it from the CBDG, the CBO proposals.
Yeah.
We can only talk
CDBG.
about the CDBG money
CDBG.
tonight. We can't talk about general fund because that's not advertised. We can't go into any other pots of money.
Just
So
Just
we're
remove
just
it.
removing PAL from the CDBG funding program.
It's within your purview to remove any one of these programs, yes.
But with the understanding that we're going to try to get the money for them somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the understanding, that has to be part of the motion.
Okay, with the understanding that, to consider the general fund as part of the program for PAL.
No,
Well-
not general fund, just other fundraising.
Fundraising,
Right,
okay.
right. We can't start talking about using general fund money tonight because that's not advertised. If we want to make an amendment to the budget to do whatever else, it would have to
Yeah.
come back at a
Okay.
different meeting.
It'll come back to you under a resolution.
So the
Yeah.
motion stated on record, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Item passes 3-1. So now we need a motion for the
To get,
allocation for the $10,000.
No, 5,000.
I want to make the motion to add $5,000 to the award for
For
Santla
Santla
for the program,
employment.
for the employment program.
Okay.
Second. Because
Okay,
I love
so-
a renegade.
So we have a motion on the floor by Mayor Joseph to allocate $5,000 additional to Sutla Employment Program, and seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0. So now we have an
Miss-
additional $5,000 left.
Can I make a motion?
I need
That-
some.
Go ahead, sir. You
No,
need some- No, go.
We split it 2,500. I just wanna add $1,000 to
You don't want nothing.
Ladies of Valor and Empowerment,
The senior citizen.
and 1750 to the Irvin Thomas Elite Basketball Academy.
How many you said, 1750?
2750.
So that's $2,750
You have 2250.
Okay.
for $1,000 for the Ladies of Valor. That's the motion. And
Huh?
$1,750 to the Irving Thomas Elite Basketball Academy.
Yeah.
They need 20,000, the basketball?
You
Right,
know how
that
much?
brings them to an even 10.
It's over
That's
100
even 10?
kids
Okay.
they're serving.
Why didn't you
for
do
the whole
1250,
week.
1250?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Why didn't you do
1250,
1250, 12? Where's Russell?
So that, the
I'm sorry.
1,750
Oh,
brings
that's
Bill
fine.
to an even
That's fine.
10,000.
Oh, that's fine? Can we do it, even 50/50?
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, from the 2,500,
If you
1252.
Just let me
1250,
know what you
1250,
want.
that's fine.
I'll second his
1250,
motion.
1250 each.
So 1250 each.
Yeah.
1250 for Ladies of Allure and 1250 for Irving Thomas
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Basketball League.
And that leaves us with, if this passes, it leaves us with another
$2,500.
I'll second the motion of Councilman Biename to split 1250 between those two groups.
Okay.
Everybody say aye.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 4-0.
can I, Mr. Galvin, you have any?
No,
You wanna-
sir.
Okay, can I allocate well,
You have 2,500.
I know, I'm trying to, there's some,
Just
we
give
said,
it to me.
to give it to you? Okay, oh God.
Holy
this
Cross.
is- Yeah, Holy Cross, well, okay.
Yeah, Holy Cross. man.
Holy Cross, where's, okay, 6
Add it
So
to,
Holy
my,
Cross,
to my concert.
chickens, no,
My
no, no, no,
concert
no, no,
every-
no.
that-
Let's do Holy Cross, 1,000,
Okay.
North Miami Senior Foundation, 500, well, 750, that'll be kinda.
You have 2,500.
I know,
So
2,500.
you have 1,500.
Yeah.
1,500 left, okay,
Yeah.
perfect, okay, I'm good.
1,500 left
Yeah, there was a meal program, okay.
for the AIDS.
The AIDS Foundation, 1,000,
The
That'll be
AIDS
7.
Foundation?
So you have 500.
500,
Food
okay.
for Life Network.
Food for
Okay.
Life Network, you said? And Food for Life Network,
How much you want to give them?
how much is that?
500 you have.
500,
They give it to them.
yeah, 500.
So 1,500 went to,
So 1,000,
No.
$1,000 went to Holy
1,000 went
Cross.
to Holy Cross.
North Miami Senior Foundation, $1,000. Food for Life, $500. Is that the motion?
No. Oh.
I think you
Mr.
said
Galvin, you messed me up.
1,750.
Yeah,
for
no,
the-
I
But we
said
only have
750.
2,500.
I was
Correct.
trying to,
Go ahead.
It's 2,500. So you give 1,000 to Holy Cross,
Right?
and you have 1,500 left.
so could,
So if you want to give 500 to the Food for Life, and
okay,
then you have 1,000 remaining.
I see. The North Miami Senior Foundation,
Get 1,000.
I was trying to give them 750 to make it even 9,000.
Okay, so Holy Cross gets more then. Add it to Holy Cross. The
No,
additional
but what
250.
about the other organization? The Food for Life, you said?
Yep.
How much they will get?
You have
Say
6,000.
750.
Okay,
They will
that
get
sounds good.
750.
750.
Councilman
Okay.
DeSilva, will you restate your full
Yes.
amendment of
If I
which
could
three
remember,
groups?
I would. From where we are.
We went-
Okay,
There was
Madam
2,500
Clerk.
remaining after
Yes.
Councilman Biename's thing
request.
passed.
1,000 for the Senior Foundation, so 15 left.
Mhm.
So why don't we do 750 for
750
both? Yeah, there we go.
750 for Holy Cross
750 for Holy Cross
and
and,
750 for Food for
Food
Life.
for Life.
and Holy
No,
Cross,
it was-
we'll
Holy
help you
Cross
raise
was
some money.
1,000 before.
No, I'll help them raise some money off that, okay?
Have you
And
seen those little kids?
I know, I've seen them, but that's what I'm saying, I'm gonna have to raise.
So to
some-
Have you
clarify,
seen them sing?
I know they're good.
so to clarify,
And
They're the
you
one
could
that
give you
participated in the
$1,000 for them
concert.
from your medical clinic.
Vice
So
Mayor
you gotta go to-
Desame,
Yes,
to
yes,
clarify, we have Holy Cross at 750 increase, North Miami Senior Foundation at $1,000,
yes,
Food for Life for $750.
correct.
Do we have a second for this motion?
Second?
Okay, we have, well, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0. Okay.
And now I'll make a motion that we approve all of the organizations as amended and pass the item.
Second,
Okay, motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve all the motions amended as stated on record, as amended on record, and seconded by Vice Mayor Desome. All in favor?
aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0. That's for tab G.
And we're gonna ask all the CBOs to please stay until the end of the meeting.
Yeah, right.
Just in case we change our
In
mind.
case we change our-
Whoever walks out first loses 50%.
Okay, tab F.
Okay,
H. It's an ordinance. Proposed ordinance, second reading of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 7 of the city of North Miami Code of Ordinances entitled Finance, specifically at Article 3 entitled Procurement Code by creating Division 10 entitled Prohibition on Use of Expanded Polystyrene, I practiced that, to prohibit the use of expanded polystyrene products by city contractors and special events permittees in city facilities and on city properties, providing for repeal, conflict, severability, codification, and for an effective date.
Through the mayor, there's no staff presentation. This is the second reading for the styrofoam item, so there's no staff presentation for this item.
Public hearing is now open on this item, second reading. Prohibiting the use of styrofoam utensils, cups, dishes, plates in the city of North Miami by any vendor conducting business with the city.
Including the use by city employees.
Oh, my God. What do you mean?
Okay, I see no one come. So public hearing is now closed. Any discussion from the dais?
Yeah, quick question. I'm definitely going to support this. But, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, Mr. City Manager or the city attorney, can you do some quick research? I know Miami Beach passed this a couple months ago, and it's my understanding they have all sort of legal stuff that's not working for them. So I know that's the direction that we want to move in, but kind of give us, if I don't know if it's you or the manager, just so that we don't be in the same boat that they in.
I explained at the prior meeting that we're taking baby steps,
Okay.
but major baby steps. Talk about problems. New York City was in the forefront of passing this legislation. They ended up getting sued. The New York Supreme Court repealed New York City's ordinance. We're not making the same mistake.
Okay.
We're not making the same mistake. This is an important first step for the city, and from here we will grow and build a foundation for negating the use of this product citywide. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Deputy Clerk?
Okay, I need a motion, please.
So
I move.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor made by Mayor Joseph, seconded by Vice Mayor Desorme. Since this is an ordinance, I need a roll call. Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Councilman Bieneme?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Desorme?
Yes.
Mayor Joseph?
Yes.
Item passes 5-0.
Tab I.
As
Tab-
quick as tomorrow when the mayor signs.
Okay. Tab I, proposed ordinance, first reading of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 15 of the city of North Miami Code of Ordinances entitled Personnel, Pension, and Retirement by amending Article 4 entitled Claire T. Singerman Employees Retirement System, ordinance number 691, by amending section 15-61 definitions by creating a new section 15-64, plan closed to new members, participation in the Florida retirement system by amending section 15-80, eligibility generally, section 15-81, member contributions, section 15-84, reemployed persons, change in employer, section 15-90, retirement benefits in section 15-95.1, cost of living, adjustment of benefits, providing for conflict, severability, codification, and for an effective date.
Mr. Manager, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. This is the pension ordinance first reading.
I'll take it. $200,000 a year.
Exactly.
You'd take that pay cut.
The mayor, I think it was 2 meetings ago, we approved the blue and white collar bargaining unit contracts, which included pension reform. The ordinance attached basically enacts the pension reform to all new employees moving forward. Take North Miami essentially in the near future out of the pension game for the new employees. So there's no presentation, but this is basically just putting to paper what you guys approved with the union, the contracts.
So we are adopting the FRS and do away with any other, for new employees only.
Yes, and this ordinance basically implements the agreements that were signed with the unions. So it's required.
Okay.
Okay.
Public.
Anyone from the public wishes to be heard on this item, please come to the mic. We have one on the left, one on the right. The one in the center is mine. I see no one coming, so public hearing is now closed. Members of the council?
Move approval?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Councilman Galvin and seconded by Vice Mayor Desome. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I think you have to,
not an
no, you have to make a
Oh,
roll call for
Is
that.
it an ordinance?
Yeah.
My,
roll call, she's
my
right.
mistake. Roll call, Councilman Galvin,
Yes?
Councilwoman Keys,
Yes.
Councilman Bieneme,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Desome,
Yes.
Mayor Joseph.
Yes,
Item passes 5-0. Before we move on, do you want to go back to item E, tab E?
yes.
What is,
Okay.
which one is that?
Would you like me to read it again?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the city administration's competitive selection of Country Bill's lawn maintenance as the lowest bidder to furnish and deliver material, equipment, tools, machinery, supervision, expertise, and services required for the provision and installation of approximately 120 trees at location designated by the interim city manager or his designee. And further authorization, the interim city manager to negotiate and execute an agreement for the stated services in the amount not to exceed $37,800, a term of 30 days from the city issuance of the notice to proceed in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in the invitation to quote, furnish and install trees ITQ number 01-15-16 as amended, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. Tab E.
Through the mayor. Mayor, the tally sheet that you were requesting for the submission of the bids, the invitation for quotes, I have provided them to the council. Barbara passed them out to you guys.
Actually, this is a tally sheet that is produced by us, right? What I was really requesting is the actual document that were turned in by these various companies. And my understanding is that when the document is turned in, there is a stamp from the city that goes on that document before filing. That's the document I'm looking for. The stamp document.
Received from the clerks?
Mr. Mayor, Alberto Estrada again, Purchasing Director. If you'd like, I have copies of all of the bids that were submitted, and I'll be glad to provide copies to each and every one of the council members, whatever is your pleasure.
Yes.
I'm looking at the numbers, thank you, Alberto.
Which paper?
I see Country Bill's bid is about 20% less than the next lowest. The bid was $37,800. The next lowest is $47,400.
Wait, hold on one
Yeah,
second.
she's got a document that's totally different than what we
Yeah,
have.
oh, no, it's
I
in the
got it out
packet.
in the
It's
hall
in the
just now.
packet.
Okay, what?
I'm sorry.
It's inside the
Oh.
packet.
That document's inside the package.
Okay, so, and the highest was 62,300, and based on these numbers, I'd make a motion that we go ahead and approve this
What do you mean?
item.
I haven't got my document yet.
Thought it was in the package.
It's in the packet.
No, that's
The
two
numbers
different
are-
The document
documents.
you're looking at is in the package.
It's in the
He's
package.
asking for totally different
Okay.
documents that
Yeah,
aren't in
the
the
actual
package.
bid.
Mayor, Mayor, these are the actual bid documents that did come in. The time is written on the top of what each one came in.
Mr. Mayor, if you allow me while you're looking, I don't have a problem per se with them because I think they are the lowest bidder. That's fine.
Where's
my-
the form? Let's say that.
I'm sorry?
What tab again is tab B, right?
Yeah, this is tab D as in David. My concern is just the issues that we have with them as a city for not doing work, why are we moving forward with another contract? And if we are having problem with existing, this is since the last city manager was there, I was concerning, and I was getting pictures that the swell and other areas that they have, which, so I think you and we had conversation about them. So if we're gonna use the same folks, we gotta make sure we have a good track record with them, that they're gonna do work that's, we could sit up here and say we don't have any problem. And I shared some of the concerns Councilwoman Keys had, you know, and I think all of us throughout our entire district. So that's my concern with this piece of contract. Thank you.
From what I understand, the contract is about to expire.
The contract, this not for
I'm
this.
talking about the contract.
The contract for the maintenance expires
for the
in
complaints that
August.
we are
Yes.
talking about.
So it expires in August. We will be putting the contract back out to bid in August for the maintenance, the maintenance of the right-of-ways and some of the swale areas.
We just got to make sure when we pay them 37,000 to install and about 120 trees, and we have someone supervise those trees, and to make sure before the warranty expired, then we know those trees are in good outstanding and moving forward with that. And
If I
I
may.
think that's something that needs to be done. As of right now, like I told you, I have about 9 trees that we put last year. They're dying and nobody pay attention to that. I went it to Public Works and Park and Recs, Roger, and they still haven't fixed it.
Let me ask a question, Mr. City Manager. This is just a total question. Why are we not doing this in-house, like buying the trees in our public work folks? Doing it? This is just, I would like to know the answer.
What is your question?
Sure. Why are we not buying the trees that the residents or whatever that we want in public works doing it?
In some instances, we do purchase trees and put trees in ourselves. When you're talking large amounts of trees, the 120 trees, that'll take away from our manpower as we do other operations throughout the city. So it is really more cost effective for us to have an
To bid
outside
it up.
agency put the trees in for us.
Okay, now, as I can see here, there is a stamp just for the date, but I want the record to show that the actual time that the documents were turned in were handwritten. So is it my understanding that the stamp is only for date, not time?
Mr. Mayor, each one of these documents, when they're received, again, they're stamped.
Is
And
there a time portion in the stamp? Yes or no?
no, not in our stamp. These documents were received in our office because these were
So we have to go
invitations-
by what you wrote? Pretty much.
Well, the
Yes,
time.
That's all I'm
Yes, sir,
asking.
that's- yes, sir.
Do we have to
Yes,
go
sir.
by what you wrote?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
They don't go to the city clerk department for
Anybody
bid.
else want to see?
The
So
opening.
these ones don't make it to the city clerk's office?
Mr. Mayor, these were invitations to quotes, and they're submitted directly to our office.
At what point does the city attorney become aware of the process?
Well, certainly, we publish all the solicitations, and.
We publish
provide-
it without the city attorney being aware?
Well, we provide a notice of the solicitation.
Without the city attorney being aware?
We provide a notice, Mr. Mayor, to.
Without the city attorney
Yes,
being
sir.
aware? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
When we have a bid,
At
we
which
don't
point
send-
does he become aware?
When it's time for the award of the contract, sir. For the-
But how does he, but we have a city attorney who's there to protect us from liability, and we are about to advertise a legal document, and he's not even aware. So how is he able to counsel us and to protect us? When it's too late?
As far as code wise, this is how it's done.
For this particular procurement, I became aware when the request for an internal work order for the resolution.
What date was that?
Oh, I would have to, it was before this meeting, but well after, obviously, well after the.
After the closure of the ITQ. Where did you get ITQ, whatever?
Through the mayor, this is the same process that goes on with all of our contracts and everything that we do put out to bid, sir. This is to say, this is no different from us putting out something to bid for a sewer force main. It goes out the same way.
Just because it's no different doesn't mean it's proper.
I understand, sir. I understand.
It is not proper. And from this point forward, I would strongly recommend that before any bid is advertised, and be it on paper or online, that it goes through our city attorney. That's what we pay him good money for.
Question, Mr. Mayor.
No, I'm not finished.
Go ahead.
Going through the attorney, sir, would be another step and additional work to the city attorney's office. We can do that, sir. I believe the process right now is, the process, and I believe the process has been working for us. I understand at this particular
If
situation.
it was working, we would not be having this discussion. I would not be asking these kind of questions.
What
maybe it's been working for some people, but not for everyone.
We can recommend that the date stamp include the time so that we know for certainty that it was submitted on time and not after the deadline.
The other portion of my portion of my questioning goes along the same line of having a problem child, and yet you still rewarding him for doing bad things. Because from that I'm hearing, Country Bill has been a problem child to the city of North Miami, and they have a contract with us, and I've been hearing both from the city manager and from other members here that there's been some lack of performance on the actual on the current contract. So just because, anyway, like I said, I believe in reward and punishment process, and it's not like we are not aware of what's going on. And one thing that I would also recommend is that, well, maybe I'm going to hold my recommendations for some other time, and then I'm going to let some other people speak, and at the end I will resume.
I just learned something new tonight. When we are putting an RFP, an RFQ, and purchasing, you give the purchasing department, you give them the order. When they finish preparing it, they don't send it to the city attorney for review before you put it out there?
Councilman, typically when we prepare a solicitation, and in this instance this was an invitation to quote, these are pretty much boilerplate documents. And what we include in there simply are the specifications, the bid forms, and so forth, etc. There really is no need to submit that document to the attorney for review.
What is the maximum amount for quote? What is the maximum amount?
Well, the maximum amount for an invitation for a quote is up to $75,000 for construction projects, and up to $25,000 for the procurement code for all other services and goods and so forth.
What about trees? In what
that would fall in the category under construction, under improvements, installation.
You said construction.
Right. So it's up to $75,000 for the procurement code.
Mr. Mayor, you want to go
Yeah,
first?
I have a question.
I do too.
We're talking about procedure here, which, if we're looking at procedure, I don't think we should make any decisions or recommendations to our staff this evening until we are really apprised as to the proper procedure. I appreciate your explanation, but this is the way the city has been doing it for years upon years. If it's not proper, if we need an additional step, then I don't want to place the burden on it this evening. I'd like our attorney to come back and say, this is what we could do, this is what the county does, this is what the other cities do. But to add an extra step to the attorneys this evening, I mean, doesn't make any sense.
No, we're not adding it. I mean, it's already done. It's broken egg now.
Well, right now, our city, I mean, we're talking about changing procedures of our procurement code right now, which really isn't what we should be I mean, we can have a discussion about it, but we shouldn't be taking any kind of action to change any procurement procedures. This is how we did it. You know, unless there's something that I don't know about and missing, it was done. We've got the bids, we've got the numbers, and yeah, so I'm hoping we're not going to be thinking about taking any actions or votes on any type of procedures this evening. If there's something that wasn't done properly in this, and you all have a reason to, you know, throw it out and start over, that's something different, but I haven't seen anything like that. So I'm ready to move forward.
You have something to say?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This is a procedure issue, and I'm a little bit baffled because I did not know some of these steps, and I definitely, I'm not into purchasing or know how other cities does it, but I feel like if the mayor or a council person does have a request, or I didn't know that the procedure that you don't look at documents that potentially we could be in some trouble for. I mean, I knew we had some RFQs and RFPs that was going out there that was incorrect, but I just thought that there was a process in-house. I do agree with Councilwoman Keys, that is something we need to look at procedurally, administratively. And the other concern that I'm having, when the mayor said, I didn't know that their department could receive their own bid, and I think that there's a question there. It needs to be, regardless if it's in our code, Mr. Manager, hold on. Quote, it doesn't matter. Bids, quotes, RFQ, RFP, whatever it is. Anytime there's an exchange, and that's the same issue that we had with another department, we need to make sure there's a third party, another department. I thought everything went through the clerk's office, that there's somebody there who get it. And Madam Clerk, there is a time on your thing, right?
At this time.
On your stamp, there is a time, right?
Yes. we
So
do have a
I
time.
always assume, even when I was the clerk, that they take it there and they stamp it and they give them a copy. Because right now, we in a predicament. I didn't even know where this thing was going. But we definitely need to look at this and change if it needs to be an administrative thing, because this is not good. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, I would say this. Because of the flaws, that exist in this particular process with the handwritten time and so forth, and all the other issues that are going on, I cannot see myself, voting on this item. And to me, it's just a matter of principle. When you have a poison tree, the product of a poison tree is poisonous. Okay, so and with that, I just cannot vote for this tonight.
I have a motion.
I don't think we opened the item to the public. I don't know, through the mayor, if you want to do that.
No, we haven't opened it yet. No, I did open it, and no one came forward.
Okay.
If you want, I will reopen it. It's only 10 o'clock.
Can I ask a question too? I mean, we're talking procedure going forward. Are all of the bids that received by your department, do they always have a handwritten time on it, or is this a special issue? I mean, do you
All
always?
bids go to the clerk's office. Invitation to quotes go to the purchasing department.
An informal procurement process was used for this procurement, which was not the sealed bidding.
Mhm.
And therefore, it was not an RFQ, an IFB, or an RFP. So it didn't go through the city clerk as it normally would if it were a sealed bidding, a competitive bidding process.
So is
Sealed.
it customary that this quote that was turned in normally to the purchasing department, is it normal to have the time handwritten, or is this just a one-time issue?
No, that's correct, Councilwoman. That's exactly, we make sure and we verify the person that receives it, and also myself, and we verify obviously the date and the actual time it comes in. And I'd like to add that that is per the city's procurement code. That is what is allowed and authorized by the procurement code for these quotes. Certainly, it's at the pleasure of the council. If you all choose to change that procedure, then certainly that's something that we can look at.
So
Sir.
nothing out of the ordinary was done with this particular quote?
Nothing at all, nothing at all.
Yeah, I don't think nothing was done, but are you saying in our code, it stays, or we could look online where this particular bid goes to you and you guys handwritten the time?
Well,
That's what he just said. He said it's in our, so
It doesn't-
clarify what
the
he said.
code won't say that it.
So
it's
what would the code say, sir?
handwritten. It would just be received by their office, sir.
That's exactly correct.
So the code says they received it. So we said that their department received it. Okay.
I mean, it's like, crossing the red light. You can cross the red light 50 times and you don't get caught by the cop. But the last time that you cross, the 51st time, and you get caught, that's the time you get the damn ticket. Just because it's been going like this and nobody caught it, that doesn't mean it's right. It is not right now, so it is not right. So we can notify this and come up with a new step, and we open the process.
Mr. Mayor, with all due respect, I don't think that's extreme to do. We haven't, in this request for proposal process, done anything differently than we've done in the past. Nobody violated any rule. You might have issue with the organization, but I don't think that that's.
I have issue with the handwritten